Season 2, not season. Episode 2. I am not a TV show. Episode 2 of the Woolly Bean podcast. I'm Juanita, the maker behind the bags, the knitting, and you can find me on Instagram at woollybean, woolly.bean. I'll put it below. And I technically am on Facebook, also as Woolly Bean, but I don't really go on there or do anything with that. Mostly it's all on Instagram. Today I wanted to share with you, let's think, I've got some works in progress, a few that you haven't seen yet, a few that you have, and then I was going to share some of my stash bust with you in case anyone is interested. I wanted to share with you a project that I'm about to start. The yarn's be coming tomorrow. I was hoping it was going to come today because I wanted to share it with you, but it didn't. It's not coming till tomorrow, so that's okay. But I'm going to start, and I'm excited. And then I wanted to brag on a few of my favorite podcasters, or I don't know, shout out, whatever you would call it. But for some of you, I know a few of my viewers are friends and they're new to this. And so if this is something that you like and you don't want to just watch me, you can check out some of these other people that I'll share. What else? I was going to share a few of the bags because I do have a shop update this weekend. It's not going to be Saturday. I'm going to update that on Instagram. It's going to be Sunday because I've had a little illness and I had company and didn't get as much sewing as I expected done. So I'm going to share a few sneak peeks of some bags I did finish, some new prints, and that will be probably towards the end of the podcast. And then I will, again, at the end of the podcast, share a little bit more about myself, just in case you want to just sit and hear me chat. So, let's dive in. I'm noticing. I'm going to do works in progress, so I'll put the intro to that there, or the title, whatever. But I'm noticing when I do my YouTube video editing, my thumbnails are awful. I don't know how people do, like, the screenshots where they, like, screen or have this pose where they're like holding something for a second. I don't know how you do it. I don't know. So I'm sorry for I'm sure my first few thumbnails on my podcast are going to look dumb, but I'm still learning. Okay, works in progress. Something I wanted to share with you. I was going to see if anyone had any suggestions or help too on this one because I started a blanket, and if you follow me on Instagram, again, with all of my projects, you'll have seen this one. But I have a lot of scraps. I knit a lot in similar colors or colors that are that coordinate well. And so I started a blanket. It's kind of like, it's that coziest memories one that a lot of knitters out there are working on. And this is what I've got so far of my squares joined. Not a lot. It's a very small blanket. But they are all different yarns. So this, I think, well, no, I was going to say they're all from Knit Picks, but they're not. This one is Knit Picks Wool of the Andes tweed or something like that. I can't remember. It's from Knit Picks, just a tweedy gray. And then this is, so I got wool here. This is acrylic. This is Knit Picks Mighty Stitch, which I really like. If you're looking for something that's really good for baby gifts, that's soft and that washes really well and does not pill, it is an acrylic merino blend, and I have been really impressed with it. The color selection isn't my favorite, so I actually have some of that in my stash that I'll share later, but it's super soft. I hate acrylics typically. I'm kind of a yarn snob. I think a lot of us, I don't know, knitters, when you get into it, you know how it is. You just get kind of picky, but, and this one I can't remember. I think it's some leftover cotton or something that I had, from a blanket I worked on for my sister for one of her babies. And then I got that one. And the pattern is from Studio Misha and Puff because I know I was going to just kind of wing it. I know that this is called a mitered square, correct? I believe so. But I really liked this. I don't know if it'll show up on there. This is their little patchwork blanket, and it's, let's see, Yeah, Misha and Puff, Patchwork Blanket, Studio Misha and Puff, and they break it down really nice. They give you like exactly, if you want to do it, give you in the same order what colors you would want to kind of pick out, and then the directions for the stripes and the stuff. So if you want to be lazy like I was feeling, then you can do that, but it's just a mitered square also. But I wanted it, so it's all worsted. First I started it and I had it all separated, and I was going to go back and seam it, but then I couldn't figure out, because it gives you that option to do both in the pattern, which is nice, but then I could not figure out how to seam it without the seam being, like, since every square is different, you know, how would the seam not show and it be different? I don't know, without it having like a color, like a solid color border around every square. So I had started all the way over, and I have to undo this one, but and picking them up and then starting the square. So I haven't made too much progress. I just keep my balls and similar colors that I was going to make different squares out of in one of my older bags, and that's it for that one. So that is my blanket, and I will keep you updated as to progress. This is going to be a long, one of those ones you do a long haul. Wait, I should share that. I noticed last time when I did my podcast, I did not share needle sizes or details, and I know that's always, sometimes it's helpful if I'm interested in the project, I'll say that. So this is worsted weight, and I think it is size 6, needle 5, but I think I use a 6. So the pattern calls for a 5. But I really like those ones that they do where it's like out of sock yarn, or, you know, the really fingering weight. My cat is in the corner, so I'm sorry if I keep looking over there, and she's staring under my desk organizer, making me nervous, like there might be a bug. So if something happens and cuts out, it's because I had to pause it and jump up and run. Okay, so that's one work in progress, and then I'll share the other one that I didn't share last week. This is one of my, I haven't put these in the shop yet. It's my large drawstring. I use them for sweaters, or I'll make another one and do it for when that blanket gets big eventually. But it's my sweater size, and it's just a simple drawstring bag. I use cotton cording. I'm looking in the wrong spot. I apologize. I keep doing that. And I try to use a, not reversible, what do you call it? Or just where the inside is flattering still, not lined, but got some pretty seams, some French seams. So this is my weekender, and I know everyone and their cousin is knitting one, and everyone's finished theirs, it feels like. And then anyone else that loved those, they've started, and I still have not finished the sleeve. It was right around February, I think, when I was, or before that, but I got sick in February with my panic disorder, and I couldn't knit for a long time, and so I just could not finish. And I was knitting these, I don't even remember ordering these needles, which is really funny. I guess they're 9s. I went down a size because I knit this, the pattern calls for, just look it up. The pattern calls for worsted. Hold on, I can pause on this. Okay, I'm back. The Weekender. It calls for worsted, and it's by Andrea Mowry, and she used Brooklyn Tweed Shelter, which is really swishy. I've worked with it before. I like it, but I didn't want, it was going to be an expensive project for me. So being my first sweater for myself, I wanted it to kind of just play. And Rachel from the Hey Sister podcast gave me an idea when I saw hers, and it was so pretty. She used Stroll Tweed, Knit Pick Stroll Tweed doubled, and just made some modifications. So I put those details, if you check my Ravelry page, JJ Doucette, it has those details on there. The needle size, I think I knit the body in a 7. I went down a needle size basically on the pattern, and I have 5 skeins of each color. I'm not sure if I'll need all of them because I'm already done with essentially the sleeve, but I'm going to go down. I'm going to take this back out and go down. I don't want the ribbing to be quite as loose as it is on that. And then I just have the other sleeve to go. But I kind of also like it without the sleeve, so I feel like if I just took the sleeve off and then I could wear it sleeveless for the fall and then put the sleeves on then, maybe. But I am so excited. It is so squishy, and I'm excited to see what it looks like when it's blocked because, I don't know, it'll be my first garment that I've made for myself. For myself! So exciting. And I don't know up close like how all the color shows, but with all the little speckledy tweeds and stuff, it's got like little flecks of tan and brown and black and white in it and the 2 different grays. I used, I can't tell you that, down heather and flagstone heather in the Knit Pick Stroll tweed, and I don't remember who, but someone else did essentially the same one. They liked my idea, used the same colors, and I think they already finished theirs too. So again, I haven't picked this up since February, but I love her design in the neckline, how it's just like basically a square, but when you wear it, it just, the length and then this fake seam, it's good, and it's got a split hem. It's a beautiful design. So very simple, very nice for a first garment. So I'm going to finish that, guys, because I still have this much left of this, and then I still have 2 more balls. So I think I will have leftover yarn. See, I still have this and the other color left over. So that is my second whip that I hadn't shared with you before. And then I don't know if I even picked up my socks while I was, oh, I'm missing one. It's over there. Hold on, I'll get back. Okay, I don't know if I even made progress, so if I don't remember if I'm at the heel on this sock. I feel like that's essentially where I was before. So I'm not going to go on about these. These are you'll have seen them if you watched my first podcast. If you didn't, go back and watch it. But it's the, just a vanilla sock pattern that I made up myself, as far as just based off of the socks I've made before. So it has, I started, obviously, top down, and Knit Picks, their fleecy self-striping yarn. I used some leftover scrap dove heather in their stroll that was given to me. And then I did just a basic toe and then kitcheneered off, which I love kitchener, whatever, however you say that. I love doing that. I find it super, like, now that I've memorized it, and I love that you can't tell. Like, it's just, I know some people, certain things, I think it's when the more you knit, you'll get like that. If you're a beginner knitter, if you're out there and you see some of those things, and then those that are past that, you know what I mean? Like, there's just some stuff that once it becomes like muscle memory, or you're just so comfortable doing it, you get, I don't know, there's certain parts that I look forward to. Like, I like weaving in ends. It does not bother me, except on blankets. That's ridiculous. Like, there should be some solution to that out there. That can be crazy. But I like weaving in ends on products. I like I found, let's see, Very Pink Knits. She does a lot of, I think that's her name. She does a lot of YouTube videos that are like a lot of instructional videos. And whenever I would get stuck on something, or I would just go and look through her videos and find ones that were helpful to kind of learn different stuff. So she helped me a lot with learning how to do weaving in my ends properly, so they didn't come out and then wouldn't show once you washed and all that stuff. So that's that one in my favorite bag. Though some of my new prints I really love. Like 2 bags I want to steal, but they're going to go in the shop, so I won't. I don't know why I'm burping. I'm not even a burper. It's so gross to do on here. You guys don't need to know me. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Okay. And then 1, 2, 3. This is my fourth whip. I may have made a little progress. I don't even know what I had done. I was going to rewatch my podcast, my first one, to see, but I had bought some chickadee. I talked about that last time on someone else's stash bust, and I mentioned her in my other podcast. And I am doing the honey plum cowl, honey plum shawl by Mandarins, because it called for the correct yardage and yeah, honey plum. And I love the look of it on there. I think it's really pretty. Like, I don't know if you can see that. That's what it's supposed to look like. And let's see if it'll show one that's like stretched out. I'm unsure. I've never done, this will be my first shawl. I've done cowls and I like to double wrap. I'm a little funny about, it doesn't show the, like it, maybe probably on Ravelry, but well, it shows this, like it's a, oh, focus, it's that shape. But I'm funny about, I don't know, I don't want anything really pointy. I don't know why. So I think this will be pretty, but I'm not sure if I'll keep it for myself. Technically this is the right side, and I've got these here and that annoys me, but we'll pretend this is the right side. So I'm just starting the lace, first lace section. So I haven't had a lot of knitting time. I've been sewing and sick and had company. That is that one, and I have not done anything on my sweater, my other sweater, but it's still deadly hot. Like, I feel like each year or each season, this happens to a lot of us, because I know we talk about it, or I've seen other people talk about it. I don't know how to say we, but I've seen other people talk about it, how it's like in the middle of winter we're craving spring, and then in spring we're looking so forward to summer. And I love summer I love wearing shorts. Like, there's something so comfortable about just slipping on like a light t-shirt and shorts and throwing your hair back. Like, I have to wear my hair up. It's not very long, but I have to throw it back. It just makes me hot if it's down. And just light makeup, mostly no makeup at home, but I don't know, just going out the door and not having to think. Because I have 3 kids, and so in other seasons and it's cold, like, I gotta remember jackets and make sure people have hats, or that we have, you know, all the extra gear that you have to take. So summer is a lot easier to just kind of go. But, and I like going out and watering my plants, and spring just lasts so short. Like, the weather is beautiful. Of course, the flowers, I don't have bad allergies. Most of my family does, but so spring doesn't bother me. And then as a knitter, of course, I love fall and winter. So we have a ton of walnut trees in our backyard, which I'm in my sunroom. So when I look out this way, I'm looking out some big windows, and surrounding our deck, and then our neighbor's yard off to the side, they have a giant walnut grove, and then there's a few in our yard. Which, side note, I want to try, I wanted to do it last year, but this year I just noticed there's a ton of walnuts on the trees, and I'm going to try to do some natural dyeing with walnuts. And I've been saving avocados, because that, like, ashy dusty pink that avocados make on yarn is just, I have to do it. I'm so excited. And then I want to try doing some walnuts, and seeing, which I'm getting all these sections mixed up. Okay, I'll finish talking about, but the walnut trees, why was I talking about them? Oh, they're like the last to get their leaves, and they're the first to lose them. So they're already little yellow leaves, like, falling down. And even though it's 100 degrees outside, it's like, I'm like, oh my gosh, fall's almost here. Like, I have to hurry up and finish this sweater. So all of that to say, I want to finish this sweater because I want to wear it. And I shared it last time. I've shown you pictures on Instagram, but the only thing I didn't share was just the yarn I'm using. So I thought I would share that. I am using Knit Picks. They're Mink Heather, Wool of the Andes. I love Knit Picks. You'll probably pick up on that. There's a lot of other yarns that I've tried. Not a lot. No, correction. I've not tried a lot of indie dyeing yarn. Like, I don't like neons or speckles, or I prefer a lot of neutral shades, and so a lot of the indie yarn is very bright. Again, I mentioned I don't like acrylic. I typically won't buy any yarn from Hobby Lobby except maybe like the Patton's, the sock yarn. I'll buy that sometimes, but I won't buy yarn from Hobby Lobby. And you'd think I wouldn't buy knit picks because they're not expensive, but I cannot, for me, the price and the quality, I can't get enough of it. So you'll notice a lot of my stuff is knit picks. But Wool of the Andes, it's one of my favorites. It barely pills. It's not the softest. It's like not when you're used to something that's got like merino in it, or obviously cashmere. Oh my gosh. But I don't mind something feeling a little rustic, and especially after you've blocked it and then the more you wear it and use it, like the wool blooms, and I find there's something really beautiful about the rustic quality of Wool of the Andes, and especially when it's in something that's heathered. So even though this is just a neutral, I really like it. I'm so excited. So I had bought 17 skeins of their Knit Picks Wool of the Andes, and these come in 110 yards, and which is 50 grams. So it will be a hand wash sweater, which is fine. I don't mind that. And I don't think I ended up changing the patterns because I was going to go do the nor'easter. But I think I want to do that one. Like the picture shows it in gray. I'm kind of one of those people that when I see it in the picture, like I want to do the way they did it. So I want to do, like this was done, the Chestnut by Pam Allen. This is that pattern. She did it in a color, or they, designed it, or the whatever. It was, and the picture was similar to this. And so I was like, you know what, this would look really pretty. So I don't know if I'll end up needing all 17, but I have them. And then I ordered also Wool of the Andes from Knit Picks, and that'll come tomorrow with my shawl yarn. But I ordered some like rusty brown, a sweater's quantity, and then I can't remember the other color, which is kind of embarrassing. I want to say it's like a golden heather. It might be brass heather, so a brassy color, but also for a sweater, which neither of those do I have specific sweaters picked out, but I have bought several sweater patterns, so I just have to decide on. Like one of them, the Little Twigs pattern by Mandarins, and then, I don't remember what the other one was. But now I'm like off in dreamland. So anyways, that's the yarn I'm using for this, and it is being knit up on 8s, I believe. Nope, 10s. 10s on this one. So my goal right now is to finish the socks that I'm working on, continue to knit on that one shawl, because it's likely going to be a gift, and then I'm ready to start. I'm right at the part where it like splits off for the front and it goes around the arms, and so I'm ready to kind of start with this back up before I forget the pattern. Because have you ever had that happen to you where you get so into when you're doing it, you memorize it and you're good, and then as soon as you get distracted and you're working on something else and you go back to pick it up and you're like, oh, no, I don't remember. So you have to study for not long, but I don't know. So that one, and I think that's it for works in progress. So yeah. So this, I wanted to share this section, just share some of my favorite podcasters and why, and encourage you to check them out if this is something that you enjoy watching. If you like watching other people talk about knitting, then you should watch these other people. The Hey Sister podcast. They have made a shout out to me, I think 3 times now, and I each time was so excited. Like the first time it was just barely my name, or she couldn't remember it, she wasn't sure about it, and then Tabby got one of my bags, and then their most recent podcast I didn't realize I hadn't watched before I made my last episode, or I would have mentioned it. But just thank you so much. That is so sweet to share how much you love my bag on there, and to show it and talk about it. And I don't know, I love this community because I feel like it's such a giving one. Like we are all so eager to share, I don't know, reciprocate the love that we kind of get back and forth with for being that type of person, that creative. And it kind of comes like we all have, I think, a similar vein within us that makes us feel comfortable with one another, and we're drawn to that sort. So thank you so much for the shout out. And so watch their podcast for sure. They are the first podcasters that I watched. And I can't remember. It may have been Yellowbird Knits. Oh my gosh, if I can't remember her. That's my knitting mom. And she watches a million different podcasts. And she may have been the one that told me about them, or I may have stumbled upon them. No, I remember what it was. I was watching, I think it was Mandarines, was watching them on one of her stories. It doesn't matter. Anyways, I found them, watched them, loved it, and then found out that my knitting mom also has been watching them forever and loved them. And then we got into all, she was like, there's podcasts. There's a bunch of podcasts. You need to watch this one and this one and this one. And so she shared with me, after I watched all of Hey Sister podcast, she shared with me The Gentle Knitter, and I love her. Like her, she's from Ottawa, I believe, Canada, which I'm Canadian technically. I'm from Alberta, even though I've lived here in the States most of my life. But that was interesting to me. Just, I know most people in a colder climate have more reason to knit. So a lot of you are from colder areas. And I respect those of you, though, that are in warmer climates and yet you still knit, because I don't know that I would be as into it. I have a harder time in the summer. No, not true. Not anymore. It's just now knitting is an obsession and it doesn't matter. But anyways, she was the first one where I was like, when I saw the sweaters she makes, and when I went and looked at her Ravelry feed, like her favorites, I was like, those are, I want to knit every single thing that she wants to knit. Like, she had such a similar aesthetic that I just was drawn to it. So I haven't watched all of her podcasts because I think that was, again, similar around the time where I started having some health issues and haven't been able to keep up with stuff like I would like to. But she is definitely one that I would recommend if you like naturals and texture. And she used to do a lot of sample knitting, and she's just recently stopped and is been able to knit more for herself, and her projects are just beautiful. So check her out. And then I may have mentioned this in my last one. I can't remember if I had put that in or not, but Lindsay from A Wooden Nest. She's not as new as I am, but she's only got a handful of podcasts out there, but she now has like branched into natural dyeing yarn and has opened up a shop. I bought some of her yarn and it is so beautiful. So A Wooden Nest, she has a podcast. Again, everything she knits, I want to knit. Like, she's a little girl, and her baby sweaters that her toddler sweaters that she's knit for her, like the mountain one. Lindsay, so cute. And she just makes socks like nothing. I don't know how you guys do it, but this one, I might have shared this before, but you know what? I'm going to share it again. This merino cashmere nylon, 414 yards. And she dyed it with avocado and then re-dyed it, I don't know, but with iron. And it has like these, I mean, when you dye it with avocado, it's pink, right? So there is definitely some like little peachy spots in there. I don't know if you can see it, the focus. But then there's just like these gray, like I cannot wait to see what this looks like when it's knit up. I need to do a swatch. But like this one's just, I was getting ready to wind this into a ball. And then I couldn't decide on, I'm having a hard time. This is where, if you have suggestions, help me. I've got, it's fingering weight. So I've got just over 800 yards. So I need to find a shawl that would be fingering weight about 800 yards. I probably can just do that on Ravelry, but for some reason I was having a hard time. So This one, I'm like, hand-dyed yarn is not cheap, but like the work that goes into it, I think you should at least do it once, like buy it. And if you're gonna buy it, buy hers. She's so sweet, and I love like it sounds weird, but like the moodiness of the atmosphere in her podcasts. And first I was like, man, I want to do something like that, where like it's like it's kind of dark, and I don't know, my house is too bright, but that's okay. Gotta be me, right? So I just really love that she shares her process, and that she's so open about it. And again, I think that has something to do with the community, the creative community, because just it spurs me on. It's fed that creative bug in me where I want to. I had wanted to before, and I'd kind of looked into it and then got distracted, and then I was like, I'll just buy yarn. I'm not going to do natural dyeing. But now seeing her, like, she just showed a picture on her Instagram of bachelor buttons. They're so pretty just by themselves, but like, I don't know. I start looking at stuff and wondering, like, oh, what would this make this like? And there's a few other accounts on Instagram that I found and need to find again, that before, when I was thinking of trying my hand dyeing. But I gotta look up. She's mentioned before where she buys the natural bases. I know Knit Picks has some. I might try some of theirs, but I'm not gonna do a big bulk because I'm not gonna be selling yarn. Make bags. I say that I won't sell yarn for a while if I did get into it. So no competition out there for anybody. But it would be so fun to try that. Like, especially just thinking of being able to go out and like forage and get colors and see what comes from it, and being curious about like not knowing when you put it in exactly what's going to come out at first. So yeah, she is someone that she lives in Portland, I think, or Oregon anyways, and her podcast is beautiful. So that's the point of all of that. Her podcast is beautiful. You should watch it. So those are my 3 favorites. I've seen a few others, and there might be some out there that I would like. If you've seen those and there are ones that are similar and you think I would like them, please share in comments below, or message me on Instagram. Let me know. So update will be, as I mentioned before, it'll be Sunday, this coming Sunday. I'm going to say like 9 Central Standard Time, which is my time. Or 8. Because we go to our Kingdom Hall in the morning, but I'm going to have everything ready the night before. I was going to do it Saturday, but I'm picking my sister up from the airport, and then we were going to take the kids as a surprise to a water park. So I figured if I could get it done Sunday, have it open the shop on Sunday, have everything, all the listings ready. I'll say 8, and then if I change it, I'll let you know on Instagram, so check on there. But then I can just have get everything ready to mail that day, and then mail it out Monday, because it's all ready to ship this time, which is exciting. I've never done that. So it's not going to be a huge shop update. So please, if you are interested at all in any one of my bags, if you've seen one, I know, like I mentioned, I don't know where I'll put this in the thing, so if I haven't, but my bags got mentioned on Hey Sister podcast and shared, which was so sweet. It was very exciting. But or you've seen maybe someone you follow on Instagram and you've seen them have a woolly bean bag. If you want to get one, please check this Sunday, because I will only have a few available, and some are new prints, some are favorite prints. I'm going to try to make some of the smaller bags, but mostly the big bags because they are more popular. And I might make some of those drawstring sweater bags, depending on how much time. I have all of tonight to sew, all of tomorrow, and then that'll be it. So I wish I had been able to get more done, but I didn't. So I was going to share a couple of prints, the new ones. My 2 favorites so far. This one, I always forget the name. Arroyo is the print. It's Robert Kaufman is the manufacturer, and I don't remember her name, but she designs fabric, and it's made to look printed, and it's gorgeous. It's on their linen. It's on like a gray linen, and it's got the white, and then I paired it with this rusty brown zipper. So it's a metal zipper, and then of course it's got the logo and all the pockets, and then a little matching snaps in there. So this is one of my favorite ones, and I definitely will. I'm going to have several of these. There's going to be more than one, maybe 3 of these in the shop update. So not a lot, but a lot of them are just going to be one of the print because I'm kind of testing it out. I want to just see the bag, get some pictures taken. And so this is the second one that also I am in love with. And it is a little snake plant. Like, look how stinking cute that is, all illustrated. And then just spaced over there. So it's on black with a little natural, and then it has the matching natural inside. Black snaps, the logo, and then I paired it with, again, a rusty. I think it's my favorite zipper. I haven't done the little tab yet, but and they always come with a little leather pull. I just haven't put them on here yet, but boxy bottom. They will hold so much. Like, okay, this one's mine, right? I think I'll have one of these prints available too in the shop update, as well as another color, the white one of this one, and then of course that black mud cloth print. But my giant sweater I've been working on, like, even with all the stuff that I have in my bag, which is several pairs of socks, my knitting needles, like, that just fits easily in there, and then you still have room. Like, it's not even busting full. So it holds a lot. It holds a lot. And it's not real big. And I know a lot of people talk about, they'll be like, well, if you could put a handle on it. I can't figure out exactly where in the design that I would want to put a handle. I just carry it by the zipper. Like, I know sometimes it's handy to have something over your arm. I'm a mom. I've been there where you carry a million things, but I kind of like the simplicity of this design. I don't want to do a snap. So for right now, the design's going to stay the same. A couple have asked about changing that, but I'm going to do a drawstring bag for those that want a handle. And then you can do a drawstring. My preference is zipper, because if you have dogs or cats or kids, they like to get in your stuff, and I feel like a zipper is just a little more, I don't know. I can hear that. If a kid is getting into my bag, I hear that zipper unzipping, and I know. So that's just a couple of the prints. And I'm going to do maybe 1 or 2 of the large drawstring sweater bags. So check it out. Sunday, 8 or 9. I don't know yet. So check it at 8. And if it's not ready, check at 9. It's like, hey, here it is. So stash enhancements, another section on my podcast. And I'm probably going to cut something else out. So I might cut out my stash busting, because I don't want this podcast to be too long. Like, I think when I looked at it, it was like around 45 minutes, and this, I don't know what this will be. So I might cut out that other part, because I got new yarn. Who cares about the old yarn? I don't know. So the shawl that I wanted to work on is the Hoarfrost shawl by Andrea Mowry, and the pattern was gifted to me by my friend. And so I ordered yarn for it because I have a lot of fingering weight that I have recently acquired in my stash, but I didn't have anything worsted, like not enough yardage for a shawl. And so, I mean, I have that sweater's quantity that I worked on, but so I ordered, this is their Simply Wool in Winkle, which is a cute name. And I don't know if the color will really come across on there, but let's see. My face sides. It's like just a soft heathered gray. Kind of. It's kind of warm, like warmer than like Dove Heather, if you used to their Dove Heather. So I got 5 hanks of that, and that was enough yardage for the shawl. So my iPad, so can't share what the picture of the shawl is, but I was getting a phone call on my phone. That's what I do this on, is my phone, but I'll have to return that call. So there's that. Very exciting. Oh no, 6. I ordered 6 hanks. And then I had ordered before a Wilhelmina really pretty brown. And I only had one skein and it wasn't quite enough to do any projects that I had picked out, so I ordered another one. And I'm not really worried about color matching because I think whatever I was imagining doing, like if it was I think I was going to do with the skiff hat, and I needed just enough to finish the top and maybe the palm or something. Then I ordered, oh, more than I remembered. Okay, well, I don't remember what I got this for. I think I just like the color. But I ordered a sweater's quantity of Wool of the Andes and Gosling. I thought it would make a good sweater. This is the one I didn't remember purchasing. I'm looking at the wrong spot, I'm sorry. I'll just open it, pull one out. It's not heathered, but it's just like a, come on, focus. Okay, focus. It's not as warm as the screen is showing. Let's see if I can adjust it. Not quite, but Gosling, Wool of the Andes, and I got 10 hanks of that, and I got these because they were on sale. Now it's not focused on my face. There we go. I got 10 hanks of those, and then I got 10 hanks of Wool of the Andes Brass Heather, and again, these were on sale. They were doing their summer sale, so I think these were like $1.70 or something. I can't remember. But Brass Heather, it's not as orangey as it looks on there. Like, picture something brassy, and that's what it really looks like. I hate that the color's not. It's probably because of the time of day. But I'll share more of this on my Instagram feed. I'll try to do a big picture with all of this. And then the last one I got, I changed my mind. I was going to do, this is not the color I was thinking. I was first going to do a brownie rusty red, and then I changed and I did this one, which because I was thinking a lot of, I'm trying to think of the yarn it is, Brooklyn Tweed, or if it's their Shelter maybe, but that one postcard color. I saw this one in the Wool of the Andes, and it's called Bouquet Heather, and it's like purple and yellow together, and it's not as red as it looks on there. Oh, colors just aren't coming through. So check my Instagram feed and I'll try to take an accurate picture of what this really looks like. But will focus, will it? There you go. It's not red. It looks red on there, but it's purple. So it's kind of like that postcard. I forget this is my phone that I can touch the screen and focus. I'll get used to this, guys. Anyways, my yarn came, so I'm really excited. I'm not going to start on the sweaters right away, but I'm going to start on that shawl. So next time for the podcast, I will hopefully have some progress on the hoarfrost shawl. And who knows what else. When I sit down with someone, when I'm going to listen to a podcast, I'm usually sitting down with a cup of tea, a snack, my knitting, and I want to just watch them like I would a little show. And if it's too short, it's a little hard. Like, it's done before I'm done. By the time I get comfortable, they're done. So at least 30 minutes I'd like to make this one. And so I thought I would just share a little bit more about myself. I mentioned before, I'm married. I have 3 children, 5, 3, and 2. And a boy, girl. And they are not home today. I was having a bit of a bad morning. I don't know how to say that. I could tell I was going to, my morning was starting to kind of mood-wise not go well for me. We're still kind of figuring it out, but I have some kind of a panic disorder. It lends itself to some anxiety, panic attacks, and the new thing is depression. And stress, as always, is a definite trigger. And being a mom with 3 kids, there's a lot of stress. So I don't know how, but always it seems like when I'm not doing well, my kids are extra cranky. And so friends came to the rescue today for my girls. A friend is watching them, and my son is at my mom's. So I get to polo. I do Marco Polo, and that's what I get to podcast kind of out in the open and not have to worry about sound. My only audience is my cat Sushi, which you'll see in the intro. I think I was going to edit some of that in. But so yeah, kids aren't home. My husband's at work. He works outside of the home as a manager at a restaurant. And I'm trying to think what else to tell you about me. Obviously, I'm a knitter. I enjoy snail mail quite a bit. I have not, again, since February, I've kind of like downsized on my crafting and the time that I've had to spend towards that, and just learned to just sit and busy myself with things that, I'll just say, like, I've started running and walking more, exercising, and working outside more to get more sun and to help my mood. So I've not sat inside and just sat and written letters. But I feel like once it gets colder again, I'll probably pick that back up. But I love making pretty mail and sending it. And I was in a writing club, but I had to step out of that, which made me sad. And one of my other hobbies is plants. Like, I love me some greenery, inside and out. I don't have a vegetable garden. I don't know that I ever will, because it seems like everyone I know has one, and I can just get food from them. And maybe when my kids are bigger, I could see maybe when I don't have as much going on with them. But like just to my right here, I think it was in some footage in my first podcast, but I've got ferns and a gigantic fiddle leaf fig, a lot of hanging plants, pothos vine, these little guys, which I don't even know the name of them. I don't know the name of it, but someone gave this to me as a gift for when my son was born, and I have since it was making babies for a while, and I think I've got like 3 or 4 of them around the house now. So, but yeah, I love plants. And for those of you that think you have a black thumb, I would just say don't give up, because not long ago I killed everything. I killed all plants, and it just took, like, kind of like with anything, like with learning to knit or sew, just perseverance and practice, and buy stuff that's cheap. If you are starting out, look for plants that require low light and not a lot of water, and you get get used to them. Like a pothos vine, it's one you see all over in like doctor's offices and stuff, because it can grow in like 0 light, and it is very difficult to kill, and looks gorgeous hanging in a macrame planter. So, but once you learn like water, that plants don't like tap water, plants need a lot of indirect light. Like, doesn't have to be bright, you want to burn them, but indirect light. And I don't know, I've gotten into orchids, and I've got a money tree. That's it. I like plants. So that's my other hobby. And I am a cat person. I am not a dog person. I know a lot of you guys have dogs. Most of my friends have dogs, but the last dog I had she had dwarfism, because I was raised on a farm. We had goats and chickens, llamas, horses, guineas, pigs, sheep. Our goats we had were milk goats, and I miss the baby goats, and I miss milking, which seems funny. I wish I had that for my kids now. Like, I think it would be nice, but we're trying to keep our lives simple, so that we don't get so overwhelmed with taking care of things, even if those things are little animals. So we just have the one cat, and my last dog I had her name was Poppy, and she had dwarfism, and she was so cute when she was my baby, but she stayed outside. I don't really like dogs in the house. So, but if you do, you boo. I have my cat, and I've had friends comment that she's kind of like a dog, so maybe I'm a cat dog person. I don't know, but she's my best friend found her for me. She was a rescue. So that's it. I don't know what else to tell you about me, but I really hope you enjoyed today's podcast, and please, check back, subscribe below, so that you'll get notified when I get the next episode out, and I will knit and sew and have more to show you next time. So again, you'll find me on Instagram at woollybean, and you can find me on Ravelry as JJ Doucette, and then here. on this podcast, watching me on here whenever you get time. Thanks.